Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to DreamHack Summer 2012. Good start, Joe. It's the League of Legends Grand Final. Let's hear a bit of noise. We've got a big crowd here waiting for this game to go on. If you're lucky enough to follow me on Twitter, @Joe_Miller, by the way, you will have noticed that Moscow 5 were a little bit late here.
Yeah.
They were very close to disqualified from the first game. They were close to forfeiting the first game. They got here, though. However, their punishment is CLG have first ban, first pick in every game in this best of 3.
Every single game. They will be starting on the blue side, CLG, so that is a massive advantage straight away for CLG. You know, the admins have to do something. These guys should have been here an hour ago, and they just literally walked in the door, strolled in like, it's like, hi guys, what's happening? I was just like, what?
You're about to be kicked out. That's what's
like,
happening.
hello, there's a tournament going on. So let's get into the picks and bans. You can see the bans coming out already for CLG. They've banned out Darius, Yorick, and Shen. Urgot, Nautilus, and Soraka for Moscow 5, and they are knee-deep straight in there. And Cogmore is the first pick. Cogmore has a 100% win ratio in 6 games he's been played by CLG so far.
Which means CLG are going to win this game. If you know, if the stats
GG
are correct for us, we can just stop now and we'll call it a 1-0. Moscow 5 going in there for Nocturne, Nunu, who they've played a lot down in this bottom lane. Going to be a similar setup by the looks of things here. We've got Irelia in there. I'm interested at the Soraka ban, actually. Obviously, it's because of the flash banana that we saw from Crepo.
They fear
that
flash
flash banana.
Yep.
And that's something they're going to avoid. Alistair in there as well. Will that be a support Alistair? Will that be Snoopy in the jungle on Alistair? That's what we're going to find out with the last 2 picks.
Well, yesterday when we saw CLG versus Moscow 5, it was Snoopy on Alistair. Went very aggressive. It didn't really work out too well, but we have got Twisted Fate from Alex Ich already. So this is a very strong bottom lane, a very strong jungler, and a very strong mid. And Moscow 5, you know, they've turned up. They're up against it. It's nothing new for them. You know, they don't really get cheered that often, but people wanted them in this final. But CLG, I think, are going to be the outstanding favourites. We'll find out in a minute, Joe.
Yeah, after yesterday's game, I have no idea how this final is going to go. I'm not going to lie.
No.
It looked like Moscow 5 were going to win that one. Obviously, they had a 400,000 gold lead, I think it was.
The biggest throw in the history of League of Legends, I think we could call it.
It wasn't a throw, it was a comeback.
It was a comeback.
I'm not sure.
No.
You know, as commentators, we have to make it sound exciting rather than the fact that Moscow 5 just threw it away.
Just threw it heavily away.
I don't know. But we are seeing the next picks. My screensaver just came up, and there is the bird.
That's
the
what we
ice
wanted.
Bird.
So,
I'm
Anivia.
surprised that they left Anivia in. They obviously feel that they can deal with him. I mean, they technically dealt with Froggen's Anivia, but then Froggen dealt them a lot of Anivia.
Well, it was against Karthus,
afterwards.
and it was Froggen that started it all because he pincered Karthus in there, didn't he? Alex Ich got completely pinned, dropped in seconds, had no chance to use that Zhonya's Hourglass. The question is, how can they deal with Twisted Fate? We could see Trundle in the jungle. Trundle, where the hell is Trundle going to go? He's not going to go in the jungle. That's a troll pick. I'm not having that one.
It is a troll pick. It's Trundle.
Ah, see what you did there, Joe. That English humour.
I'm sure someone clapped out there for that joke. Thanks, man. Good stuff. Yeah, I'm not sure whether this Trundle is going to be a real pick or
Vladimir.
not. Vladimir, a more standard choice.
That's what he had yesterday. This is, in fact, this is outside of, I think, Twisted Fate is the only difference in this team from yesterday, isn't it? Because they did take Nocturne, they did have Gosu Pepper on Nunu. Corki was the reason why they couldn't get in and take that turret down, and they did have Vladimir. And we weren't saying, why did Vladimir not tank that turret, pull away, take that one hit and get out of there while they just put a couple of hits in? You know, unless we actually get to speak to Alex, because you don't get to speak to the other guys very often. They won't come near the camera. They'll just be like, no.
They don't talk to us.
No, actually, Gosu Pepper, he chats non-stop online. He's constantly messaging me. But
he sent me a picture of him as a toddler, which I found quite weird. But
but when it comes to live, they just don't talk to you.
Yeah.
They're shy, bless
them. They're shy, but they're awesome, which is why they're in this grand final here at DreamHack. Let's run down then quickly the teams once again. CLG are going to have that bottom lane of Alistair, Cogmore. Last game, Yellow Pete on Cog won the semi-finals against Fnatic was an absolute monster.
Beast, yeah.
I think he ended up 6-1 something. Maybe it was even 8-1 something by the end. My brain's not very big.
And the stats though, he's got 100% win rate on Cogmore so far this tournament.
Yeah, and that's a big thing already, a big confidence thing. Wicked on Irelia, don't think we even need to talk about that one. He's probably the most renowned Irelia player in the entire world. Snoopy on Maokai, his favorite jungler. So it's always good. Maybe, even if it doesn't 100% fit in your team comp, to be playing in on a champion that you feel 100% confident on. And that's something that they got here. And Froggen on Anivia.
Yeah,
well,
what can you
that's
say?
the same.
Yeah, Froggen is Anivia. Anivia is Froggen. The egg, he's born. That's how he came into this world.
If you killed Froggen,
out of
it would
an egg.
actually turn into an egg, and then you'd have to kill him again.
So nobody else got that one, Joe. It's all right, just me on that one.
That's fine.
So anyway, we're going to go into live in this one, and I'm actually pretty excited for this one because CLG have got all their picks. Moscow 5 kind of got all the ones they wanted, so pretty much everybody's playing one of their favorite heroes in this tournament, so it really could be a very open game, very aggressive game. You can see obviously that bottom lane of CLG with Alistair, and there will be a very aggressive lane in there, going to try and set things up for Cogmore. Obviously, Gosu Pepper is like one of the most aggressive supports within the game, which is obviously why he actually, pulls in a lot of critics, because he can be over-aggressive at sometimes and put himself in dangerous positions. But honestly, this could go either way, Joe. So let's get a bit of a poll from the crowd. It's a pretty big crowd in here. Who wants to see?
Who wants to see a game?
Who wants to see a game? Yeah. So we'll start off. Who wants to see Moscow 5 take this finals? And we're going to be moving into the Dream Arena after this match. So we're going to see, it's not all over yet. There's a best of 3. But who wants to see Moscow 5 take this one? Not a bad shout. Okay, who wants to see CLG.EU take this one? Yeah, that's pretty clear.
Oh, Darian's in trouble. He's coming first blood. He's managed to skill the pull in there first. Will flash away. They can't get the dive in, and that was a bit of insane action right from the very start. M5 setting up that line defense. CLG may go in there. He's going to get the stun down. First blood to CLG. He's going to be picked up. The turret won't quite finish him off there, and Crepo will survive. CLG picking it up here. An absolutely insane start to the game, and Moscow 5 don't know what hit them.
Level 1 tower dive from CLG on Moscow 5. What the hell just happened? I do not know. But they all got the assist. Actually, no, Maokai didn't get the assist. That's a little unfortunate for him. He's down there taking the blue out, but it doesn't matter. So they've all been back to buy, so they've all got a big advantage straight away in that lane. You can see attack speed actually on towards Cogmore there. And they've got wards across the board, so they're going to be covering off any Moscow 5 crazy invades that they could come up with, which effectively counters Moscow 5. That is the main thing that stops them.
That is the counter to Moscow 5. If you can be as aggressive as them, or even more aggressive, if that's even possible, I'm not sure that it is. We're going to see a tough game for them here. Let's not forget, though, it is a best of 3, and there's still a long, long way to go in this matchup. We saw yesterday what looked like a clear-cut victory turn into a victory for the other team. So let's not count the chickens before they've hatched. Snoopy just picking up the blue buff. You can see Diamond there. Also on the other side of the jungle picking up the red. Middle lane, of course, is going to be Froggen Anivia against Alexic on Twisted Fate. Probably 2 of the most famous AP players in Europe. Maybe even the 2 most famous. And Darian could be in trouble again. Snoopy actually coming in. There is the Sanguine Pool. And this time, no dive onto the turret from CLG.
Yeah, tried to get the knockback straight away there before going to Twisted Advance on him. Snoopy's obviously leveled that one up to begin with. Has picked up the blue buff. Looks like he's going to go towards the race. Could go down straight towards Alexic, of course, in the middle. Diamond Proxy is going to pick up this blue buff. Meanwhile, down the bottom, it's going to be start to a stalemate. The middle lane is the one we need to look at, because Snoopy trying to get himself in a position on Alex. Alex has just took a couple of steps forward. That could have put him in a dangerous spot. He's just trying to keep vision on that side, though. And you've got to be careful, because Nocturne's also coming around, so this could be a double gank in the mid. Diamond actually checking out. Meanwhile, in the middle there, Alex has been caught. The Ice Blast comes through. Froggen gets the damage down, but he will not quite be enough there. Meanwhile, Diamond Prox taking his trip down towards this bottom lane. Cogmore needs to be careful now. Gennon and Gosu Pepper already starting to engage it. They're trying to bait them in there. Crepo actually being very aggressive on towards Genji, which means they're going to stick to this fight. They're going towards Crepo. The fear proc will go off. The slow goes down. Crepo surely going to be dropped down. He will do. Can they go towards Yellow Pete? They're going to back away from this one. Yellow Pete wants more damage still, and Alex Hitch has to go back to race. But Joe, this is all square once again. 1-1.
This is exactly what we wanted to see from a grand final here at DreamHack. The 2 teams which, after yesterday's game, I think everyone wanted to see it all come out like this, and so far this first match is not letting us down. There's Snoopy getting himself double buffed up. As you said, Alexic did have to back away a little bit. He's burnt through his pots rather than going home, so didn't want to miss out on any of that experience and farm in the middle. Gosu Pepper, of course, will be just coming back into lane in a second, and Crepo, who was the victim to Corki. So far, we have a killer piece on both our AD carries. Berserker Greaves straight away for Kog'Maw after 4 minutes. That's very, very early. Corki is still in that lane. Obviously, is ahead almost double in CS, but he's only got the T1 boots right now, so Yellow Pete may be using this early advantage that you had with the first blood to try and push it.
Yeah, and clever play from Wicked as well. We saw Nocturne down that bottom lane. As soon as he was spotted down there, Aurelia went and took down the large golem that Nocturne is now on. So Wicked went and stole that one away. So taking away the gold from him already, keeping that gold advantage in towards CLG's favor. It is only 200 gold. We are only 4 minutes into this, but 200 gold, 30,000 gold. It makes no difference to CLG. They can come back from anything. They're going to come into this one with massive, massive confidence. They were so confident last night. You can see Wicked going towards Darien there. He's going to have to back away from that one. The Fear Proc will not go off. Wicked will just back away there. You can see Snoopy was waiting in the wings though. Diamond Prox is going to go back towards that tri-bush, walking through that ward. So Snoopy will have spotted him. Snoopy still stayed out of sight though, I believe there. Darien is going to back off, so he's not going to be able to get anything from that one, Joe. Very, very tense opening.
Yep, Darien gone. Bottom lane is being pushed up here by Moscow 5. Obviously, Genja coming back in after rescuing that 1-1 scoreline with the kill onto Crepo. How are they going to try and force this lane out? The CS there, as we said before, was doubly in favor of Corki, but Yellow Pete back in lane now with those Berserker Greaves on. Got some nice attack speed. Has started to level things back up. Froggen on Anivia did go home, working his way up towards that Catalyst with the Mana and Health Crystal. He'll be back into lane. And we also saw Alex go back for that Doran's Blade. There's more damage again from Wicked. Now, got that assist. Actually only has the boots and pots from his starting items, but he's causing all kinds of problems. Vladimir having a few issues there before he gets level 9. There's a flash which wasn't quite perfectly aimed, but could Genja be in trouble? Will use Valkyrie to escape out of things. There's Darien again being pressured up at top, and Wicked is looking very confident here, Demon.
Yeah, he's absolutely dominating that top lane. Every time he goes towards Darien, there's a good burst going on. He's trying to life steal, only about half of it back. Meanwhile, you can see in the middle there, Alex Sitch now starting to be pressured. Froggen's hit 6. He's going to start pushing that lane a lot more. Alex will keep up the CS, so you can see he's just felt about 10 CS behind. Ignite onto towards Darien here. Could we see Wicked tower diving? It would be a bit of a troll move. You can see Diamond Pro coming in there. He's going to just force him away from that one. Wicked will not go for it. He's just going to back off and buy. He's got a lot of money, I believe, in there. Froggen, meanwhile, just waiting for that blue buff. You can see Crepo actually just leveling up in there. Will he go for the pulverize on Gosu Pepper? He's not. You can see it's actually Genja he's aiming towards. Yellow Pete continues, keeps the attack damage going on him. Gosu Pepper trying to keep him away. He's got no mana at all now. Has used that Blood Boil onto Corki. Will they continue the attack? You can see Alex Itch was trying to get in position to go and join that bottom. We've got to keep our eye on Alex. I know Garen, the camera guy, really absolutely hates Twisted Fate because he's so hard to follow on camera. You have no idea where the ulti's going to end up.
Well, we just saw there Snoopy putting making his presence fell over by this blue buff.
Wow.
Look at this for an aggressive invade from CLG. Bottom lane's come up, middle lane is there, and you know what? They may even end up diving here.
Well, they did level 1, so why not?
Yeah, level 1, easy peasy, and they are going to dive in. Gosu Pepper on the tower is going to be made mincemeat here. Where's the kill going to go? Crepo actually steals it. Genja has dove into the tower. He will die with no penalty really towards him, or maybe I should put it better that no advantage from that kill will be given over to CLG. Well, that will leave us at a 2-1, and CLG, they've obviously thought about how they're going to go about taking out Moscow 5, and it seems like the plan is aggression.
Well, CLG said, we are not worried about Moscow 5. This was 2 days ago when they were in the Open tournament. Now they're in the finals. They're still saying, we're not worried about Moscow 5. We know how to beat them. They're one of the few teams that have proven it online.
That,
well, they've proven it. I mean, straight after Kiev, when everyone was just amazed at Moscow 5, they went and won Kings of Europe that weekend later. So they are very strong. They're well aware of how to do it. Moscow 5 setting up possibly. They're going to pick up the blue. Will they follow it through with the dragon? We are only 8 minutes into it. We've not seen too many early crazy dragons, but you never know. We are in the finals, and it's looking like CLG in a position to try and fight for this blue buff as well. Can they get around there? I think Alex will pick that up just in time. But Moscow 5 need to be careful. Yeah, CLG are going to leash out this dragon. Do they realize there's a 4-man Moscow 5 directly above them? They will do now as they come around there. Snoopy taking down very low. He was tanking up the dragon. They're going to have to use the Anivia ulti to try and keep them at a distance here. Yellow Pete's still in there. They can try and dive in. The smite came down. I think it was Diamond Pro that got it. Alex is going to be targeted though. You can see Alex go down eventually. Diamond actually uses his ulti, manages to pick up on Snoopy there, but Diamond's actually had to flash out of the back of the pit there. Genja's trying to keep some damage down. Oh, Froggen's going to catch him with a stun. just managed to get the combo on him, but he'd already Valkyried away and just manages to get away from there. Well, meanwhile, Darian's just farming away on this top lane. Honestly, who picked up that dragon? I thought it was Moscow 5. I'm pretty sure Diamond stole it.
Yeah, it was Moscow 5. The thing that's really worked, I'd say, against him in this one, we saw Yellow Pete getting the kill onto Alex. So that's a real big bonus for them. We're going to have now double Doran's Blade plus the Berserker Greaves with the AD carry. And actually, it looks like Moscow 5 may want to jump in for this one. There's the Pulverize. Gosu Pepper going very low. Did get out of range before that final hit did come in, though. And Crepo doing a good job of keeping himself alive and saving as much damage onto that turret as possible. Gosu Pepper gonna go home. So we have Moscow 5 actually slightly in the lead up at this top. We are gonna see Darian with the Ignite on him. Wicked going in for the kill. The Q will steal a bit of life back, and that will be just about enough. But Wicked, he's done a great job of bullying this Vladimir constantly in the top lane, keeping him on low HP, okay? Not got the kill onto him directly, but forcing him out of lane and away from that CS could well be enough. Wicked looking to go back. We do have Nocturne in the brush there, ready and waiting for Wicked to step out. And as I say it, looks like Diamond is just going to go home. Yeah, Darian's just trying to lifesteal his way and try and bait him out for a little bit of attack, but I don't think he's going to go for it. We're seeing Froggen just picking up the blue buff. Alexich has just returned to lane as well. He's on to pick up the items. Alexich actually going Mercury Treads, so obviously worried about that Frostball coming out from Froggen. Doesn't want to get caught out by that one too long. And immediately also got the little bit of ability power and hit points with the 2 Doran's rings. Meanwhile, he got Sheen on Wicked. That's just why he's been doing so much burst damage. Every time he jumps on him, he's getting that Sheen proc going off. Alexich at the moment, you can see he's farming it up. Froggen is going to come around there, dodges that ice ball once again. He must be so used to having to do that in tournaments. It's like a steady thing. He's like, God damn that bird again. Just dodging it out. So, Snoopy actually is just warding out. So they're warding out the river, the jungle area, which does surprise me. They're not so much going for the Dragon Wards, which obviously is not going to be up for another about 4 minutes' time. We are seeing Snoopy going aggressive here. Could try and come around the back side of Alex. Could easily go for a tower dive. Will he go for it? Snoopy's backing away. Meanwhile, down the bottom here, actually Genja was trying to get towards Yellow Pete. Gosu Pepper might have been caught out of position. The Pulverize going to come out, headbutts him back. Surely no, he didn't go for it. And Gosu Pepper was allowed to live there, I believe, by Yellow Pete. Yeah, not quite the damage, not quite the mana either to be really spamming out there, I think, Yellow Pete. As I said before, he did go back, double Doran's added to his Berserker Greaves since then, Vamp Scepter and Dagger added in as well. For Corki, we've got the Phage, double Doran's Blade, and still the tier 1 boots. Actually, Diamond Proxy is going to be waiting here on that bottom outer turret, so we may just see him called into action. Darian's at half HP in this top lane as well, which Irelia may decide to try and force an issue. He does have that revolver now, so we'll be stealing a little bit back in the middle. Alex taking damage as well and having a few problems in terms of the CS there. It's a nice little lead for Froggen. Also got those 3 assists, which at the end of the day are all going to be valuable. Nocturne did decide to back away, and Darian has lifestealed himself back up to full health in this top lane. So, evening things out. Now, Wicked must be sat on a fair amount of gold. He's been up that top lane for quite a while, keeping up with the CS. Yeah, 1,300 gold, so he's nearly got about enough to possibly going to go for a phase next. Oh, actually, Maokai's going to come around. Gosu Pepper's going to be the target. Twisted Advance goes through. Gosu Pepper will go down very quickly there, and you can see Corki just had to escape and go upriver. There was no way he could do anything about that. Diamond, meanwhile, has had to deal with Froggen in that middle, and again, he gets that ulti blast combo on him, doubles up that damage on towards Diamond Pro. Didn't even manage to get it shielded off there. Genja just waiting for his support play, doesn't want to leave that turret, is very much pinned in there, and we are seeing, exactly like CLG said, the way to play Moscow 5 is you need to be more aggressive than they are, and they can't handle it. So far, it seems to be working out that way. Seems to be working brilliantly for them. They are 100 gold ahead, if that even really makes a difference. I mean, it's ticking up level as well. Moscow 5 then taking the lead, so it's super, super close right now. The one thing that I'm a little bit worried from Moscow 5's point of view is this Cogmore down in the bottom lane 2-0-1, obviously Anivia 0-0-3, getting good farm. Top lane Wicked also got the 2 assists. He's got 95 CS to the 97 of Vladimir. So despite that 1 death, Vladimir has managed to keep nicely up in terms of that creep score, and has also just come back into lane with the Will of Ancients. Got some cloth armor as well to try and negate a bit of that damage that Wicked's going to be throwing down. Yeah, cheeky from Alex there, just making sure Froggen didn't go back. But look at the burst on towards Darian there again from Wicked. Has used his ulti as well. You can see Darian's already completed that Will of the Ancients. Meanwhile, Wicked's building towards
well, he actually went back to the Mercury Tread, so he didn't go towards that phase, which I just suspected him to go for. Instead, Alex just forced Froggen back. Froggen's just, let's say, forced back. He's got the Rod of Ages now, though, so it's going to be really starting to hurt. 14-minute Rod of Ages is not bad going for the bird. 118 CS, 105, so he has got that 10 CS advantage. Blue buff going to be picked up by Alex here. Meanwhile, the blue buff, I think, has already been picked up by Froggen down in the middle there. Actually, tell a lie, it hasn't spawned yet, so Snoopay must have been a little bit slower going round towards it. I don't think we saw it get stole, so it's probably just a simple case of it not spawning yet. So Yellow Pete, meanwhile, has actually gone for the attack speed again, so it looks like he's going to build towards a Phantom Dancer again, as we saw him in the last match against Fnatic.
Well, once again, Wicked throwing the Ignite down, knocking Darian to half HP. You're going to have to steal all that look back, and yeah, that could really help when it comes to this Dragon. Obviously, Vladimir not really being involved on that side of the map, but the fact that Yellow Pete and Crepo are almost up in this middle lane may make it very obvious for Moscow 5. I think Gossip Crepo has just seen that Dragon is going to be there because they actually stole the first one away, so they know exactly when it's going to be coming up. The question is, how are they going to set up now for this Dragon pick up there? CLG starting to pull it out. Irelia has well, you can see Crepo just hiding off to the side here in the river. That's going to keep him hidden in that fog of war, and he's just going to dive on anyone that tries to work their way in from this side entrance. There's the wall, and we are going to see Dimeprox use his ulti to get in there. Darian is very low, will pull to stay alive, but the kill from Froggen comes in onto Nocturne. Vladimir starts to walk away. Crepo's going fairly low. The exhaust is down onto Yellow Pete. Crepo is still alive, healing through it. Snoopy will finally go down to Genja, and CLG peel away from that one. Froggen could be in trouble here as Twisted Fate is going to portal in. Clutch flash over the wall. Is Froggen out of trouble? It certainly looks that way, but Moscow 5 have got 5 in that middle lane. The turret could fall here.
Yeah, Moscow 5 coming out on top so far. They did manage to get the Dragon Steel as well, as the Diamond managed to get in there. Can they take the turret as well? I'm not too sure about that one. Genja in a little bit of an exchange with Crepo, but sorry, with Yellow Pete. And they're going to be forced back. Crepo, I have no idea how he survived. Just one little heal, and his ulti just kept him alive for that little bit longer. But again, that was another steal that Diamond Pros managed to do over Snoopay in the jungle. And Snoopay, I'm not too sure, didn't notice whether he had an Oracle on just before he died, actually. It'd be interesting to do spot whether he did or not, because that would be a big loss. I don't think he did, because I think he was building the GP10 items rather than more than the Oracle early on. We are 16 minutes in though, so it's entirely possible. Darian, meanwhile, back to that top lane, farming away. You can see he's only got 3,800 gold, so the 5k gold is actually pretty even spread across the gold levels between the lanes. There's not really a great deal of difference, other than maybe, I guess, that bottom lane, one we're talking about, is now actually swung heavily in the favor of Corky.
Yep, Darian putting down the pressure on his top lane as well. Wicked has started to come in there, and Darian decides, you know what, I don't want to stand and bang with him from this one. He is just a little bit too strong, possibly. The wards go down as well, just to keep that riverside covered. Blue buff is up for Anivia, but we see that Yellow Pete is trying to force a bit of an issue onto this bottom turret. And on the subject of the Oracle, I don't think they did. They used pink wards around Dragon, so that kind of told me that they didn't really have an Oracle there to take things away. In the middle, Alex starting to actually catch up a little bit, 125 to 150, so he's not exactly close at the moment. That's something that he's going to be looking to keep on top of, keep farming when Froggen inevitably moves away from this lane and joins in with the ganks. Down at bottom, things have turned a little bit more stable once again, as the 280 carry players obviously were back. There's a big bomb coming in into Yellow Pete, but I don't know, this bottom lane we've seen a couple of times the action falling in there. Snoopy has not been quite as active actually as Nocturne has down that side. That surely will start to change out. Top lane, Vladimir again taking the damage from Wicked, but he's at that level now, you know, where he's actually pretty safe up there.
Yeah, he can just pull up and lifesteal it back, which is what he's been doing so far, but Trinity Force is nearly completed by him, by Irelia, which is what he's building towards at the moment. You can see Trinity Force almost on Corky as well, so there's a lot of damage going to be coming out shortly. Froggen go for a little bit of a walk up towards the top there. It'd be very hard for him to pin down Darian. And obviously with that wall, he can just pull up. Meanwhile, Nocturne down the bottom lane. Also, Alex is going to be joining him. He's on towards Yellow Pete. Yellow Pete surely going to get popped there. Has to use his lens, but it's not going to be enough. Can he explode on towards Diamond Pro? Diamond Pro is going to go down. Who's he aiming for? It was Genja. Krepo now in all sorts of trouble. They're tanking up the turret. They're changing the aggro on it very nicely. Krepo just hanging on in there. Wasn't quite enough, though, to pick up the kill. You can see Snoopy coming around the side there. Needs to be careful. He's going to go on towards Alex H. Twisted Man's going to get the knockback. You can see he throws the sapling out as well. Alex H just about flashes away. The sapling's going to chase. Snoopy is going to get one more chance at Twisted Advance. Here comes Froggen, though. On stun cards, turns him around. Does manage to get taken down. Can Froggen pick anything else up from this? No, he cannot. Meanwhile, Red Buff is stolen away by Wicked as well. And Darian continues to farm the top.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa, Corky's going to get caught. Oh, he just about got away from Anivia there.
Yeah, they have to be real careful. And if you look at the map, actually, there are wards absolutely everywhere. Moscow 5, they had a feeling that CLG, after that initial start, that they were going to be playing this heavy invasion game. And that's exactly what they've been wanting to do. So they've put lots of wards down their side of the jungle.
Oh,
just
Darian's
to try
in
and
trouble.
make sure, yeah, Darian is going to be in trouble here. They're going to sandwich him in. Will try and pull away from this one. Will they get on top of him? Ulti goes down onto Yellow Pete and onto Wicked. Ignite was burning. There's the kill for Wicked. And this time, Darian is not going to survive.
Yeah, Yellow Pete using a good advantage there, and of course the red buff just been picked up by Aurelia. So Wicked managed to pick that one up, trying to wall off Diamond Pro there. Not quite enough though. Froggen's going to have to back away from this turret. The turret will go down actually. Froggen's going to go aggressive, see if he can catch on towards Alex Ich. Instead, he just backs away, only pulled out the attack damage card, the slow card. Meanwhile, Genja quite happy farming down this bottom. He needs to be careful. He's got Wicked coming in from above. He's just going to back off from that one. So ward placement wise, it's CLG that's starting to get a little bit more aggressive. You can see the ward placement across the map. They've already gone towards the red buff area. They've covered that off. They've covered the bottom area. So now CLG feel it's time to start going aggressive, Joe.
Wow, Gosu Pepper there actually using his ulti to try and take down the minions. A wall came in behind him, but he will escape from that one. Actually uses flash to escape from it. So not the ideal situation from Gosu Pepper, but certainly didn't want to be feeding another kill over towards Anivia. But Moscow 5, they're still a clean 2,000 gold in the lead. Corky has got that Trinity Force finish over on the other side. Wicked Aurelia has just actually been back home and does have Phage and the Sheen and is working up towards that Zeal as well. So taking the same direction as Corky there. Of course, we've got Cogmore, Phantom Dancer, got the Crit Cloak in there, Double Doran's Blade, plus a Vamp Scepter as well.
Bottom. No, he's Valkyrie.
And that Dragon's there again, so we are going to see them stacking up. The question is, how do Moscow 5 react to this one? Alex is actually quite far away, but he does have his ultimate up and ready to use should they need it. There is Nocturne just having a peek in. They've actually got this ward here on the side, which will be spotted. There goes the Dragon taken down, and CLG getting good positioning, and that will bring us back to less than 2,000 gold.
Yeah, their first Dragon actually there, despite the fact they've started the last three. And that was their first one. They've actually managed to pick up the diamond, did not get in and steal. And you can see Wicked was already backing off there. He was having to deal with Darian again, pushing that top lane, continuing on, causing the problems on them. It's interesting how Moscow 5 have developed since Kiev, since the Kiev qualifiers, I guess we could say, when they knocked out SK, prevented them coming through to the Kiev finals. Albeit they did go there by default. we won't go into that one because CLG were involved as well. That was a whole different ball game. But CLG at the moment are proving to be really one of the top European teams, if not the top European team at the moment. Moscow 5 are the only ones in their way that hold that current World Championship from the Intel Extreme Masters just 2 months ago. CBIT, actually it's about 3 months now, I think, beginning of March. 5 are on the invade here. Can they steal away this blue buff? We got the AD lane down the bottom. They're a long way from the action here. They are going to push down this turret though. You can see Yellow Peach is farming up. There goes the turret. Blue buff has been stolen away. Wicked has been tracking them there along with Froggen, but 5-man M5 invading just to steal away that blue buff. That tells me that they're starting to really want to try and force a fight here, but CLG not quite up for it just yet.
Yeah, and the gold has come back once again to just 400 difference. The problem for me is that this Cogmore is going to be really hurting right now. With that Phantom Dance already finished, that Crit Cloak is in there as well. That's going to be built up soon. And CLG are starting to push out in this middle lane. Genja's actually off to the side here in the brush, ready to work his way in, do some damage maybe with his ultimate from the side. But you can see the shots coming around from Cogmore, taking that turret to just above half of its health. And CLG, they're quite happy to keep pushing in, going back, pushing in, going back, following their minions as much as they possibly can. And the fact that they've got this Nivea ultimate, which is somewhat deja vu from last night's CLG M5 game, they can really wipe these minion waves out very, very quickly.
What Moscow 5 didn't have, they're going to dive on towards the Genja. How did he manage to get caught out of position? It's Crepo that manages to get the ultimate kill there with the pulverize. The wall on towards Darien as well. Doesn't manage to finish him off. The ice ball just about going across. Froggen was stunned on the turret there by Alex Zidge, but he does back away. And a 1-0 exchange from pretty much everything thrown in.
Yeah, 1 for 0, and CLG are going to say thank you very much for that. I mean, the kill went over to Crepo, but at the end of the day, they've taken down Genja once again, which is going to become one of the more dangerous players in his team. Actually, he's got more CS than everyone except Froggen over for CLG. Let's have a look quickly down the items. Aurelia does have now the Trinity Force finished off. Corky had that Trinity Force earlier on, has a pickaxe in there as well now. And Alex, it just comes down into this bottom lane to stop Yellow Pete pushing and farming too much about things. CLG once again are going to work out. Look at the wards that are down actually for Moscow 5. They've got vision ready for Baron here. Those are Baron wards right there. They're going to have sight of CLG when they come from their base side if they were to get in there. There's the ulti actually going to be popped by Twisted Fate. He's going to come to the back of this tower though. It's nothing too aggressive from Alex. They just want to make sure that they don't lose this inner turret in the middle lane to CLG, because that's when CLG have a big advantage with the vision. I mean, they already have one taking down the outer middle turret, but it's even more of an advantage, and that's a perfect situation to be in for the first Baron.
Yeah, it's purely reaction. We saw CLG against Fnatic earlier on. Obviously, they just pushed straight away in that bottom lane, and Fnatic just didn't respond quick enough. And before they knew it, they were actually nearly lost an inhibitor turret down the bottom lane. So immediately, Alex is just like, we need to get here, deal with this, stop the bot straight away. He's got that Lich Bane now, so he just throws out those wildcards, pretty much takes down the wave as it goes. He's just been back to pick up a needlessly large rod as well, so a lot more ability power on towards Twisted Fate, so he's going to be causing problems for them. But again, as you mentioned, it is going to be all about Yellow Pete. Yellow Pete just off in that background with that 100% win ratio on Cogmore, sorry. He's been causing so many problems because he's already hit for 300k on minions. 300k, that would be a lot. 300 damage on minions. So it's starting to cause also problems. You see, probably going to go towards the Infinity Edge, despite the fact he almost has the Bloodthirst to complete there. He has been preferring to go Phantom Dance to Infinity Edge in the last few games, and then going straight towards Last Whisper as well. You can see he's just shredding that turret down. Every time there's a minion wave that comes in, this is exactly what Moscow 5 should have been doing last night. Every time that minion wave comes in, just get 1-2 hits on towards the turret to back off. And for CLG, they are well aware of the pitfall that Moscow 5 created for themselves last night. They're not going to cope with themselves.
CLG, you know, they've got great poke with this Cogmore ultimate. The Cog ultimate not that bad either, but the fact is that it's not really hitting that much at this point is Genja. Moscow 5, they seem to want to push this out, which is actually the safest way to go about it. Stop those minions coming right in there. There's Froggen just headed home. Needlessly large rod was added to the blasting wand. Obviously Rod of Ages and the Chalice already finished from earlier. Also over with Vladimir's the needlessly large rod and blasting wand. CLG, it looks like they're just going to continue to pressure in this middle lane. Froggen is going to come back to join them. They've put those wards down, and that's one of the important things of the outer middle turret, that you gain a big advantage when it comes to the red side's jungle. Yeah, it is the advantage, and it's the advantage they've gained from Moscow 5 simply being late. It wasn't a coin toss, which we normally do. They just were very late to this tournament. But it is underway, and it is great to see, because the last thing we wanted was to see some sort of forfeit result. Yeah, I would not have been a happy caster. I don't think we'd have had a happy crowd on our hands either. that's one thing for damn sure. They're going to push on towards the turret. I think CLG will take this one down, and Moscow 5 finally backing away from that one. You can see Alex Zidge was off to the side. There wasn't quite in the position to be able to contest that one. CLG trying to take away the blue buff, but Alex had just got there. That's what he was delayed for. They are going to pick up a dragon as well here. Moscow 5 going to follow it through here. Remember, Diamond Pro has managed to steal the last 2 dragons away. Sorry, the CLG picked up the last one, but the 2 dragons prior to that, they may lose the turret here. You can see Anivia actually trying to react to this, get across, but Moscow 5 may push on the turret. Can they get caught out by the side, though? They don't quite have the damage on it. Corky wasn't on the turret, but instead they're going to put a bit of damage onto Wicked. They managed to take him down to half health. The dive towards Darien. Darien gets the pull just before it. Nocturne actually diving towards Wicked.
probably not the person you should be going for. Crepo instead taking the damage, and Vladimir ulti on them as well, because he goes to Pepper taking a lot of the damage, a lot of the abilities. He's quite happy to absorb them. It was Genja that was just sat at the back, laying the damage down. CLG actually, despite the fact they are pushing forward onto Moscow 5, were lowering the hit points there, but they are continuing to force Moscow 5 back here, Joe.
Yeah, Moscow 5 running away from this one. Actually, on the top side there, Darian did run away. CLG have been spotted chasing into him. There's that ward in that one brush, which is going to help out with Moscow 5's vision. But again, CLG taking away the jungle. And are they going to go around to Baron? I don't think so with the HP. There's a big chunk of mana gone from most of those players as well. And it looks like CLG will decide to back away, do some shopping, because all of them except Crepo are up 1,000 gold. Above 1,000 gold on them.
Yeah, that's spend it. Double Shirelia's Reverie now on towards CLG. We'll just pick up the blue buff. Oracle also on Snoop 8, so we'll keep an eye on that one. Infinity Edge has been completed by Cogmore, so he's really going to be shredding, as we expect. The Trinity Force also completed on Aurelia with those Merc Treads. So the damage definitely to stack up for CLG. Well, Genja needs to be careful he doesn't get caught out by Snoopy. He could easily dive on him. Unfortunately for him, it was only Crepo that was in range, so no real damage there to cause a problem. Moscow 5 could push onto his turret. They need to be careful though. They do not have Darian or Alex with them. Alex can obviously join the party pretty quickly, but Darian is a long way off from this one. And Moscow 5 wisely backing away. Genja, he just needs to get some shots on his turrets. And you know, crazily, they've only taken one turret down so far, Moscow 5.
Yeah, just his top turret gone down, which is feels like hours ago by now. We're at 30 minutes already in this game. Actually, in the game last night at 30 minutes, it looked like Moscow 5 had pretty much done the deal. And that was a game which they, half an hour after that, went on to lose. But we'll see how this one goes. That turret is fairly low, but again, this Anivia ulti in this middle lane covers pretty much the entirety of it. And he's got that blue buff on as well, which means he can actually leave that ulti down pretty much permanently in the middle. Gonna have Cogmore actually going back home, but this will be a 5 versus 4 if Moscow 5 decide to really push the point underneath this turret. They're definitely not in a position, in my opinion, to go for that one. Their blue buff is up. They've decided to retreat over to that one, but CLG continuously pushing. When Moscow 5 back away, CLG are not like, okay, we're going to back away as well. They're pushing that middle lane up again.
Yeah, but we saw Moscow 5 do this against CLG, NA, in CBIT. They were quite happily pushed against their own base, but effectively like they did to CLG yesterday, and they did come back and win it. They had a big turnaround in that game. You know, CLG just got simply caught out. I think Hotshot simply got caught out in the middle on that one, and it definitely snowballed things. So, you know, we saw how quick things can snowball yesterday. Last night was a big show of that. So this is far from over for either team. There is only 1k gold difference between the two as well. They are very, very even right now. We're 31 minutes into this game. And you know, Wicked said to me before this, I'm going to ruin your voice because I'm going to make it go 3 2-hour games. I hope we don't go 2-hour games, that's for sure.
Yeah, we've got a problem if this one lasts 2 hours.
Yeah, we'll be late for the Dream Arena.
Which wouldn't be cool. We want to be there. So once again, Moscow 5 have pushed out in this middle. We've got Aurelia up at top, which is maybe the indication that they were looking for, that they could push this middle tower finally down. It feels like they've been pressuring it for 15 minutes or so now. There's a big hit actually from the big bomb. But as we see, Anivia ultimate down in this middle lane just pretty much halts any push that Moscow 5 can throw at them right now.
Yeah, this game's teetering on the edge. I mean, it's simply a case of the next big fight could well turn things around. CLG are wary of that. You know, they've been pushing for quite a while now, but suddenly they realize, hang on a minute. But Guardian Angel on Wicked. Wicked going aggressive. Shirelia's Revenie's been popped here. They're going to dive on towards it. Looks like Ghosty Pepper was the target. Not really the one they wanted to go for. Genji was just off the side here. Diamond Prox is going to get in there, but does use his ulti. Manages to cover off Moscow 5. Alex Hitch is just keeping his distance at the moment, trying to keep away from Snoopy and Wicked. Now they come in. Ghosty Pepper is going to drop down. Genji's now going to be popped as well. Darian seems to be the target next. He's going to come out of that pool any minute. Wicked actually just getting caught out. Guardian Angel still yet to pop. A wall on Alex Hitch there. Very nicely played by Froggen, managing to catch him out. We did not expect anything more, of course. And, well, Yellow Pete actually manages to catch on towards Darian. Darian going to get popped by Froggen there. Nocturne, the only man to survive. Can he even get caught out there? As Froggen says, you're stood on top of a ward, son. You're going to back off, and they're going to go rip through the inhibitors and maybe even the base turret. We just said the next fight could turn it, Joe. It may even just end it.
May have ended your voice as well at the same time, Steven. but they've taken down that first inhibitor. They're not going to push any further than that. This is surely just backing off straight to Baron. I can't really see any other way that they would have backed away from that one. I mean, Darian not up for 20 seconds, Alex not up for another 10 seconds from now, and that's after they're already walked away back to Baron. Baron is going to be started off, and as we can see, hit points dropping very, very quickly, down to half health, and is there anyone going to get anywhere near it? Gosu Pepper could be the only chance that they may have to get in there. There's Anivia's ultimate down saying, don't even think about coming in here. Diamond could get caught out. He's going to be slowed. There goes Snoopy, and that's a very good flash over the top. The wall was up from Anivia, but at least it didn't die, I suppose. They've given away the Baron, but this is a 5,000 exactly gold advantage for CLG. They've got the Baron on. The middle lane is now pouring in those super minions, and I think CLG will be looking to close out here.
Yeah, so they got that 5k advantage, you know, and it can still be turned around, but with that Baron buff on, you'd expect them to maybe try and drive home that advantage. Darian's going to leash out this Dragon. They're going to pick that one up, so Moscow 5 going to try and close that gold gap by 1k. And things will continue. Still only 4-2 in turrets, so it's really only the middle that they've just simply driven up. They've not gone for really the top or mid lane, so I don't expect CLG to either go top. You can see Aurelia are already up there, so we're just going to push that top lane along. Expect him to maybe even go for this one. Nocturne's going to come across and cover it. That top turret is taken down low, but Nocturne will quite easily stop that shot, so the Super Minions won't be able to take that one down, but it's only a couple of shots away from being taken. Meanwhile, Froggen may well find Darian in this bottom lane here. He just looks across towards the golems and says, hang on a minute, Darian was here. He's got to be thinking about trying to close him off. No, they're just going to pull that red buff. CLG using the Baron to farm up here, Joe.
Yeah, and going back to that fight there, we saw the Shurelias used perfectly actually to get the initiate on there. I mean, we've seen CLG actually double Shurelias, I think, every single game.
Yeah.
You know, it gives you 6 seconds, technically every minute of 40% movement speed, which is going to give you a massive, massive bonus. Pushing up, chasing down, and everything like that. So that's a really strong item to have there, and to have 2 of them, you know, makes it even better. Obviously, 2 is always better than 1. But CLG now moving into the top lane, and Moscow 5 are going to start to settle themselves in for the defense. The problem that they have is that this Anivia ulti can really cover a lot of ground around that area. It looks like they could move in onto Darian. Look at that, stripped down to half HP already. Cogmore ulti going in there. The minions being destroyed by that Anivia ulti. They've actually got the stunning onto Genja. Will they go down? Nope, they won't. They're just going to go for that turret. Genja trying his best with his ultimate to push them back, but CLG too strong for that one. And there is that inner upper turret going down. Are they going to go for the inhibitor turret? It certainly looks that way. Going to try to use that poke that Yellow Peak can throw at them, that Anivia can put down with the ultimate as well. A sapling's going to be thrown in by Snoopy the whole time. They're just waiting for this next line of minions to come in there. And let's not forget, in the middle, the super minions are starting to push through, and that's going to draw at least 1 away. Yep, there is Diamond, and we are going to see them move. It still comes down onto Genja. Valkyrie's over the top. Oh, but Snoopy's carried through with the Valkyrie. That's actually going to mean the death of him, but they're picking up the kills left, right, and center. Yellow Peak goes low, but he's still got more damage to offer even after his death. There goes the Gosu Pepper ultimate. It's not going to offer up too much damage, but Alex Ich is still there. Gosu Pepper actually has to flash over the top of his Nexus. Irelia is going to dive in onto Alex, helped off with the help of the Froggen ultimate. Wicket not even having his Guardian Angel popped, and they don't even care about this top lane. They're going to join with their super minions, go straight in onto these Nexus turrets, and it's looking like CLG.EU are going to be picking up this first game in the grand final of DreamHack Summer 2012. There's the rage quit from Diamond right at the end. Nexus going down, and CLG will pick up that early lead. Since a lot of you from the crowd are starting to run away, the next games will be held in the Dream Arena, so run, get in the queue right now. Otherwise, you might not get a seat. But for all of you at home, you're lucky because you don't have to move anywhere. Or if you're watching here at DreamHack, get yourselves in the Dream Arena. But even a solid performance from CLG.EU. We said Moscow 5, they turned up not last minute, but actually 20 minutes late. Or maybe it's 22 technically, because I actually wrote on Twitter when they came and I looked at the time. They came 22 minutes later than the game was supposed to start.
Yeah, which is
so were they just in a crazy frame of mind, rushing through and getting sat down and getting ready and all that kind of thing? I don't think so. I think CLG just played an absolutely sick game.
They were very aggressive at the start. I mean, we
Yeah.
saw a level 1 dive. You don't get to see that very often unless it's something crazy in the final. Last time we saw it
Hey
was
guys, there's
Moscow
a camera
5.
here. So.
Yeah, last time we saw it in Moscow 5, it was so close. You know, and it was Moscow 5 that did the dive for level 1. That was the CBIT final. So
Yeah.
they've kind of had it reversed them. CLG said all along, you just need to be aggressive against Moscow 5, and they cannot handle it. You just do the same to them. But it's, you know, it's a well and good thing. It's a different matter. So it's very hard to be aggressive against one of the most aggressive teams in the world. Often you could get caught with your pants down, and suddenly you find yourself 2, 3, 4 kills down straight away because they've just outsmarted you. Turns out this time CLG knew exactly what to do.
I think one of the signs of like an aggressive bit of team play is the fact that their kills are distributed almost perfectly across the team. I mean, Crepo's got the same score, exactly the same score as Yellow Pete, which obviously is not a normal thing, but the fact that they were in 3s and 4s almost the entire time going in there, those kills can slip away. You know, it's not easy to make sure that your AD carry gets that kill when there are 4 people trying to get that gank in
And we
there.
can see the scores. We'll just run down them. You can't see themselves, but 5-0-9 for Frog and 2-0-8 for Aurelia. So they didn't even die. I mean, Frog he's just. I don't remember a time where he got rebirthed.
He didn't get egged.
Yeah, I did not see egged at all. That was just insanity. And again, Yellow Pete now 7 games, 100% win ratio is just so strong. But I guess, Joe, we need to get over to the Dream Arena as well, because these guys.
We don't have to queue though.
People need to set things up. This computer under this desk, that's got to go there as well. And I think some of those guys back there, they need to go there as well. So we need to wrap these things up. We will be back with you in around about 45 minutes' time. And I believe we're going to have, I can't believe there's going to be an interview with anyone.
After one game?
Yeah, not after one game. You can't do an interview after one game. So we're going to be back in around about 45 minutes' time. We will be live from the Dream Arena. It will be huge, Joe.
It will be huge. I hope Demon's voice is going to sail through. I'm going to keep him hydrated. That sounded wrong. Between the games. And we shall be back with game number 2. CLG, of course, leading 1-0 over Moscow 5. Make sure you don't miss it, guys. It's going to be an absolute beast of a game. We'll see you then.
MSI Intel 7 Series mainboards, the best choice for power users.